could lose, but it seems like he's a favorite to win at this point. It's worth noting that in the governor's race, Andrew Gillum has been a clear favorite over Ron DeSantis, Gillum being the Democrat, DeSantis being the Republican, for months now, and that's likely to boost Nelson. Looking at Indiana, Indiana would be a lot more competitive, except the Republicans nominated their weakest candidate of the three in the primary. Instead of nominating Luke Messer or Todd Rokita, which probably would have put this race at a lean R, they instead nominated Mike Braun. Braun doesn't understand why he won the primary in the first place, and he's been campaigning quite ineffectively. And Donnelly has hit him on a lot of things he's done as a businessman. And I'd say Donnelly is a clear favorite to win re-election, though some of the experts, particularly Larry Sabato at the University of Virginia, disagree with me on that. Ohio, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, some people said could have been competitive, but they're clearly not. Same goes with Pennsylvania. And that's about it. Any other interesting notes might be Mitt Romney's a favorite to win the Utah Senate race. Moving on to the governors, I'd say that the Democrats are doing surprisingly well in the governor's races. Well, Arizona didn't pan out the way, and Texas didn't pan out the way we thought it would. We're a clear favorite to take the governor's office in Illinois. We're clear favorites to take the governor's office in New Mexico. We are probably a slight favorite to take the governor's office in Nevada. Shockingly, we're actually a slight favorite to take the governor's office in South Dakota due to the popularity of State Senator Billy Sutton, the Democratic nominee. In Kansas, because the Republicans nominated Chris Kobach, who has many issues, most of which go back to the fact that he's made his entire career around trying to prevent minorities from voting. And that's made this race competitive, and I do sincerely hope Laura Kelly, the Democrat, wins there. And Oklahoma's competitive, as the Democrats have put up Drew Edmondson, who's the scion of the Edmondson political family in Oklahoma, against Kevin Stitt. Obviously, looming in the background of this race is the incumbent governor, Mary Fallin, a Republican, who currently is polling at a 9% approval rating in Oklahoma. Some other races worth noting are Florida, which, as I talked about earlier, Gillum has taken a clear lead over Ron DeSantis, and in Georgia, where Stacey Abrams, the House Minority Leader for the Democrats, is polling pretty evenly with the Georgia Secretary of State, Brian Kemp. A big issue of this is Kemp is the Secretary of State of Georgia, meaning he runs Georgia state elections. So he's done a lot of things as a Secretary of State that people have claimed are making it harder for minorities to vote and more likely for him to win. I think that a lot of what Mr. Kemp has done is wrong, illegal, and I think if he wins, people are always going to view this election as being tainted due to his involvement in running it. Other important races is Scott Walker in Wisconsin. Looks like he's going to be defeated by Democrat Tony Evers, though I would be cautious, though, because polls in Wisconsin have always shown a Democratic bias for years now due to reasons with the voting file and more complex reasons. Democrats look like favorites to hold the governor's office in Minnesota. We look like favorites we look like favorites in Iowa. Kim Reynolds, who was elected lieutenant governor under Governor Terry Branstad, became governor when Branstad became the ambassador to China. And she's made a bunch of errors, and the Democrats put up a strong candidate in, what's his name? What is his name?